Hello, 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 hello. This is our hangout. Cybergrind gets mad. I don't know if you girlies actually saw the title of what I called this hangout. Okay. I have on screen with me. You can, because there's three of us. Oh, hold on. Right hand. Oh. Over there is Pepita, Boss, and I can't do this. God, you have to be ambidextrous to do a hangout like this. And Sonia Ingrasselli. Good morning, ladies. I'm going to put you on the big screen. So
Morning.
Peter in her office in Comares. And guess where the Ingrasselli is? Guess where the Canadian is? She's on the beach. Down in Capapino, And I am here in my little casita, dripping with sweat. But the reason we're all here is because we haven't said hi to you for a long time. This is our first hangout as a threesome, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
And also, normally you'd see me either with Sonia or with Peter, but I've got them both here today. So, one of the things we want to talk about today is that there seems to be a growing trend on Facebook of unscrupulous Facebook group admins. Personally, I consider it unscrupulous. I just don't think that that's the whole point of Facebook, charging you to post in groups, and in some cases cleverly disguising themselves as a listing directory at the same time. Pepita, what are your thoughts on this Facebook group admins charging?
She's stunned.
Yes. Can you hear me, darling? Sonia, over to you. Over to you, and then Pepita will catch up with us.
What do I think? I think they should all burn in the pits of hell.
How you doing?
Actually, that's actually,
My friend, I come.
you know, I figured, sorry, Fiona, just give him the money there. Honestly,
We've got a lucky man joining in.
can you hear me?
I can, but I can also hear the lucky man in the background as well.
Yeah, I know. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Pepita, do we have you back yet, sweetheart? We can't hear you or see you currently. So, are you there?
Okay, so I'll answer the question now.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is, I guess they're charging people to use their larger Facebook pages, right?
Yeah, they say that they have a zillion fans on the Facebook page and they have zillions of people in their groups, and therefore you want to be part of it, and if you want to be part of it, you've got to pay for it, which I am sure is probably against the terms and conditions of Facebook. And my view is if somebody's got a budget to be spending on Facebook, they should be doing it with direct advertising.
Yeah, that is against the terms. It has to be. Like that. I know that, like, on Twitter, you can actually pay for tweets from, like, big, huge people like movie stars. You know, like Paris Hilton, is, 10,000 for a tweet, that kind of stuff. That's different, obviously. But I definitely would never, ever pay for something like that on Facebook, ever. And
Yeah.
You know what? At the end of the day, it's a community for sharing. And engagement, and actually building business relationships. And to charge is just, I would never pay for that. I recommend never pay.
Yeah, I recommend that you look at Facebook advertising. If you've got a budget that you're prepared to spend on Facebook, then come and speak to me or Pepita, because I know Pepita has trained with Mari Smith as well. And maybe between us, the three of us, will do a big session on Facebook ads and how to get the most out of it.
I think we should. You know what? We all know, like, Facebook is, like, super affordable. It's incredibly affordable. I'd rather pay for that, my own little budget for advertising, than ever pay somebody else. There's no way. You know what I mean? It's silly. I'm interested to hear what Pepita has.
Yeah, she dropped out for the second. I think we're getting her back in just a second. The other thing is, like, there's a background to the reason why I'm a little bit agitated about this particular subject, but I don't want to actually go into too many details. But there's also a trend of website personas going into businesses, saying that they're getting, 10,000 hits a week. Now, can you explain why hits are not the way to measure traffic to a website, and people should be listening out for, like, page views or page vids or unique visitors, for example? Where does this hit garbage come from, and why should people not be listening?
Well, this hits garbage to the site. It doesn't make a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, an image on the website reflects a hit. So if you have, just to explain to anybody who is watching that doesn't know what a hit is, it's like, when you open up a website, if it's got 100 photos on it, you'll get 100 hits. So a hit could be one person looking at 100 photos on your website. It doesn't mean you've had 100 people visit the page on your website, does it?
No, it doesn't. So, you know what I mean? If you really want to show off your traffic, you're going to actually prove it, first of all. That's number one. And number two, you can buy software like the software I use to find out what people's traffic is really like. But the bounce rate is important. I don't know if are you familiar with the bounce rate? Do you want me to give it a little bit of an overview?
Yeah, sure. We've lost Peter again, by the way. So
a lot of people have asked this question about the bounce rate. Sorry, just there's noise everywhere today. What the hell's going on? I think I'm on a beach or something. Anyway, a bounce rate, when somebody lands on your site and is actually interested enough to stay, the bounce rate will be a lot lower. So we're going under 50%. Now, if all a bounce rate of over 80%, 90%, people are actually coming onto your site saying, oh my God, that's crap, or landing there by accident. Now, if you can show me a bounce rate on a really popular website that's below 30%, then I'm going to think that website is spectacular, and I'm going to ask to advertise on it. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, I do. I think we need to write a blog on that and have it posted for people, because I know for sure that there are some salespeople going around at the moment suggesting that people advertise on their website, and they are giving people misinformation, and I just don't think that's right.
It's, you know what, it's not right. And I'll tell you right now, if people were to contact, I do the free audits, which everybody knows that I think. That's one of the things I check. If somebody was to contact me via Facebook or my email and say, Sonia, do you mind checking out the site for me really quick and see if they're actually worth advertising on? Happy to do it. Takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Pepita, are you with us yet? I can see your image, but I can't hear you. No? Okay, we still haven't got her, so not to worry. So I
think we should definitely.
I think we should do that and give people the right information, so that they can be more informed and make a better choice on which websites are going to do the work for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know what you do? There's a lot of people out there that just assholes, and they just they'll say what they want to say because they think that most business owners that have their website online that really have the help are inexperienced at knowing that kind of stuff. And it's really a bad...
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so point of action out of today's hangout is that we're going to write a blog. We'll get Pepita back in at some point and talk about Facebook advertising, and we will explain to people exactly when a salesperson comes in to say, right, you should come and advertise on our website, what are the questions that they should be asking, and we'll get that sorted ASAP. You can write that blog while you're down at the beach, can't you, darling?
I'm sure I can.
Right, well listen, I just wanted to make it short and snappy today to remind people that we're still here. We have to... Oh, Pepita's joining us twice now. There she is.
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Yoo-hoo. So I thought I'd make a late entrance.
Okay. So listen, well, we were just gonna... We touched a bit on Facebook advertising, but barely, because we were waiting for you. Okay.
Good.
So before we close, because me and Sonia have just been rabbiting on for a little while talking about why hits to a website are not the way to measure your traffic, and we're going to get a blog together so that we can give people the right advice. And my concern is at the moment you have some unscrupulous website sales agents going into visit businesses saying you should advertise on our website because we get 10,000 hits a day, which is really not the way to be measuring your traffic. So Sonia and I have agreed that we'll probably come up with something and we'll come to you for some input. But
sure,
let's hear from the legend herself on why Facebook advertising? Because my gripe, the reason why I suggested we all come on today was because I know Facebook, some group app people are charging to advertise on Facebook groups. And personally, our opinion is that if you have the budget to do that, you shouldn't, firstly, and maybe redirect it to Facebook advertising. So you have done this extensively, haven't you, Peter? And did you study with Mari Smith on Facebook ads?
Yeah, with Mari and Dennis Yu and John Loomer. But I think mostly what the problem is that people just do not know how to use the tools, you know. I mean, either the people who run a group and start charging for money. The group that I saw the other day was like, you can post this and this and this for free, but if it's about these type of products, you have to pay. And I was just like, honestly, you know. But you know, I just cast that aside because it's just too much negative energy. But then also what you see here on the Costa, there's a lot of groups, you know, that were popular or that are popular, but they're being overrun by spammers. So admins feel like they have to, you know, authorize every post that's being placed, and therefore kind of killing the group because it kind of stops flow and traffic. But I think a lot of people have this idea that Facebook or social media is a free tool, so therefore they shouldn't pay for it. And a lot of people also don't have a lot of budget. And then they either don't want to spend money, or if they do want to spend money, they don't know how. And they start boosting posts, and then they're surprised that it doesn't help. And what you really want to do is, for instance, if you have a Facebook page that doesn't have that many likes, say you just have, I don't know, 85 likes or something, you have to start building the likes first so people can actually get used to your page, know what's going on, and then, you know, you can start selling to them. Because the mistake a lot of people make is that they immediately start selling to people who've never heard of their page. Well, that's not going to work. So you have to build likes, and then you can start selling to them. You know, that's, you know, it's a bit more complicated than that, but that's basically the thing, and it really doesn't have to cost that much.
No, I mean, Sonia was saying how affordable it is, and I mean, you can do some things for, you know, like just a couple of bucks, even if you just want to try it out, but try it out with some guidance. So, do you have any downloads on your website? I don't currently at the moment have any teaching material to give people on Facebook ads. Do you, Pepita?
No, I don't, because if we do it for people, and also sometimes I think, God, should I write the umpteenth guide to whatever, you know. What I mostly do is I direct people either to courses by Mari or Dennis or John, and otherwise I'll just, you know, give them a manual from Facebook, because Facebook has pretty good instructions. And I think what's hard for people is they think boosting a post is advertising, and of course it is, but boosting doesn't offer as many possibilities as either Ad Managers or Power Editor does. And I started using Power Editor because when I started doing this, boosting was very simple and not very sophisticated, and neither was Ad Manager. So now if people ask me the difference between Ad Manager and Power Editor, I'm not really sure, because I've always used Power Editor, but I think Ad Manager is kind of catching up. And making it easier for people.
The small page, smaller, without being, you know, derogatory to anybody, maybe the smaller business, the smaller page owner, their Facebook does have its own training pieces now. I think they've significantly improved what they can do. So I think the three of us have agreed, though, that if you are going to, I mean, for me anyway, if you have the budget, you know, research it a little and actually do direct advertising within Facebook or boosting, as opposed to giving your money to somebody else just because they say they have a zillion fans on their Facebook page or hundreds of people in their group. It's not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I see a lot of entrepreneurs here on the Costa paying a lot of money to a lot of magazines, and sometimes I think, you know, I ask them what are the results, and they say, well, I can't really tell. It's like, reserve maybe 10 or 20% of the advertising budget that you have, reserve it to experiment. And start maybe with boosting a post first, then look into Ad Manager, you know, look into the more complicated stuff, and just learn a bit every time. You know, there's a lot of trial and error that you can do, and you know, especially the more advanced tools. You know, there's so much you can do if you combine it with email marketing and your databases, etc., etc. So it's
it
a bit of a
doesn't
shame.
have to be big numbers either, does it? Because I think people assume that you have to have like a huge list or a huge fan base to be able to start spending some money with Facebook. But I mean, from personal experience, just recently with Olivia's restaurant that isn't even open yet in La Cala, the first thing I did on the website practically was to install a news updates button for people to sign up to a MailChimp list. The first list email went out to 400, which is quite good, I suppose, from a subscription point of view. And from those 400, they were the first 400 notified that the booking slots were now available, and we started to get bookings. So it can be done with quite small numbers. It doesn't have to be thousands and thousands.
You can also use advertising to build your list. What I did 1.5 years ago, I did Facebook trainings in Holland, and so I wrote an e-guide in Dutch, and I advertised that. And I had like a non-existent Dutch. Dogs, stop barking. So I had a non-existing Dutch list, and I advertised on Facebook. I think I spent maybe for a week, I maybe spent like 30 euros or something, and like 35 because I had a budget of €5 a day, and I had 280 something subscriptions within a week for my Dutch list, which I thought was pretty good, you know. So if you have something good to offer, you know, don't expect people to sign up for your list if you don't have something that they want. But if you combine email marketing with social media, etc., you can accomplish a lot with small budget.
You can, and in a small window of time. Well, listen, girls, I've taken up enough of your time on a Sunday. Thanks.
You want to jump in the pool, don't you?
I do. I'm absolutely. I'm sat there looking at Sonia on the beach. She's going to go run in the sea, and
I have a big fan behind me.
Yeah, you've got your lovely little pagoda outside now, haven't you?
Yeah,
so
my
I've
fan.
seen that on Facebook.
Oh God, yeah.
Have you got a beer there, Sonia? Is it beer o'clock already?
Yeah. I agree. By the way, everything Pepita said is, you know, awesome. That was great advice, Pepita. We should do this again.
Thank you. Yeah, we should do a marketing Maven series or something.
Yeah, we should actually do that. That's a really good idea. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Let's talk over dinner or lunch.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. We'll invite anybody else who wants to join us as well. Maybe next time, though, I did say to people that we'll pop the link out for, you know, anybody that wants to come in. Anybody who everybody has the right to reply. So if there's a Facebook group admin out there who is charging, maybe they could come in on the Hangout and explain their
We'll charge him for it, though.
Did you say no?
No. Yes.
All right, girls, listen.
Well,
go and enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
Okay, bye, Fiona. Bye, Sonia.
Bye.